I think it's very important, especially for the families, and we're talking about generational here. I see 2 or 3 generational families, that we commemorate the sacrifice made by the volunteers and political activists of the Falls area. This is an annual event, and it's great to see so many people out from the area who acknowledge the sacrifice of the volunteers and political activists from the area who died over the course of the current conflict from the late 60s right through to the present day. It's an important one for the families, but it's also important to recognise the sacrifices made during the conflict over 40 years, and an indication of the support that sustained the struggle for 40 years, because unless you had that level of support, both passive and activist, then you couldn't sustain a conflict of the intensity that it was for a period of 40 odd years. So I think it's a manifestation, an acknowledgement of that support, an acknowledgement and a clear recognition of the sacrifice of the men and women from the area who died during that conflict, both as volunteers in the Irish Republican Army and as Sinn Féin activists. 2 of the activists we commemorate today were killed in the Sinn Féin centre down the road when a serving member of the RUC went into the Sinn Féin centre and shot dead the 2 political activists. It shows to the family that their loved ones and the sacrifice that they made have not and will never be forgotten, especially by the people of this area who hold the memories of those people, those Republicans, very dear to their hearts. And I think commemorations like this are a manifestation of that level of recognition and support.
Well, it was very good today to see such a good turnout. As always, it means a lot to the family. The people, even after all these years, 43 years later, they're still coming out and remembering all the fallen, all the people in this area who fell, who gave their lives for their community, for their country. It gives you a sense of pride that people are still, after all these years, prepared to come out and honour them and remember them. Say it's 43 years later. Jimmy died 28th September 1972, only a few hundred yards from this where we're standing now, and we'd just like to thank the Falls Commemoration Committee and everybody who came out today. We really appreciate it. Yes, it's important to remember that those men and women give up everything. They give up their futures, they give up their lives, they give up their families to fight for their communities, to fight for their country, and we wouldn't be in the position we're in today, and people still wouldn't be coming out today if they hadn't been prepared to give their lives for their country. Today means to me it's a wonderful feeling to come to know that so many people still remember all the volunteers that died. You know, when I was a young boy running around this district, I seen these people out operating against the British, and they were, to me, they seemed like big grown men, and they were only kids, 17, 18, 19 and 20, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, they were killed fighting for a cause. And as a family member, my brother John was killed. As a family member, the way I look at it is, you know, it would be sad if we were standing here today 40 years later and nobody remembered that they'd passed away. So a day like today is special to me, it's special to my family, it's special to, I think it's special for the whole district, because this district here deserves this kind of thing. They deserve to know that people died and fought for what they've got now. You know, everything is you're progressing somewhere along the line. You know, no matter what you get, it's something more than what you had in the 70s. You know what I mean? And, you know, don't get me wrong, my family miss my brother. Something shocking. But it's great to know that everybody that knew him and the people who didn't know him are still prepared to sacrifice an hour of their time to come out and commemorate in this lovely garden, which was basically built as a commemoration for all the volunteers that died. You know, to me, it's special. This garden's special. I come down here every Saturday morning and I sit on it for a few moments. I walk around and I look at all the names, and you see all these names and they all mean something to somebody.
What a product! Hey, Ra! Got a product! Easily product! Got a product? Ordy product?
Well, I think the day was wonderful, and no matter how far we progress, we always have to remember those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for the struggle which has brought us to where we are. And I love these local commemorations because it not only grounds you, but again you meet old friends, old comrades, you mix with families of volunteers who have died, and it allows you to go away recommitting yourself to seeing this struggle through to its completion. I grew up in this area. I was involved in the Republican struggle in this area. Many of the people that are on the Roll of Honour here I would have been friends with. I know Jimmy Quigley, John Donaghy, Joe McKinney, Danny McAreevy, and Paddy Maguire, all who died within 10 days of each other in 1972. But they're all memories that are brought back to today. And when you meet friends and comrades and family, you often just revert back to. And for many of us, it's like yesterday. You know, I might be 62, but I'm still 17 on the Falls, and I think that's what we always need to remember. And the supreme sacrifice thing. But I think the important thing to realise that this area has been completely steeped in Irish republicanism from it was built. You know, it's seen after partition, it was continuously attacked by the forces of the state and unionism right through each of the decades. I remember probably my first thing was the Divis Street riots in 1964. That was just a backdrop to 1969, and the aftermath of that, the first real engagements with the British state forces occurred here in 1970 during the Falls curfew. Then it just rolls through the 70s, the 80s, into the 90s, the ceasefire. And but it's the Republican struggle was also much wider, because you have the whole social struggle that Republicans have been involved in, whether it's agitating on many issues like housing, like jobs, employment, and other things. So the likes of the demolition of Divis flats and other social campaigns that have taken place, and that's what republicanism is about. It's about making life better for people in the short term, but never forgetting what your final goal is, and that is the total British disengagement from Ireland.